Welcome to the Joy Shift. I'm Kylie Suarez. There's a course going around right now that I can't stop thinking about. And it's on every feed of mine in Instagram and TikTok. Not because of what it teaches, because of what it proves. A creator named Jessie Jean built a 6-week challenge called Yap on Camera. The promise was almost insulting in how simple it was. She'd teach people to turn on a camera and just talk. No script, no teleprompter, no polish, just talk. And she charged $297 for it. And in 5 days, she made $1.2 million. Thousands of grown, capable adults paid money to learn how to do the one thing every toddler on the planet already knows how to do: talk. And when I saw that, I didn't think, I should make a yapping course. No, I thought, look at what people are actually starving for. Here's the part nobody's saying out loud. They weren't paying for a skill. They were paying for permission. And if you're a woman who has built a beautiful, substantial life and still feels like you're playing a role inside it, this episode is about you, not the internet, you. So why did a course on talking to your phone make that kind of money? We live in a world that's polished to a high shine. I mean, all you have to do is scroll through Instagram and see so many beautiful people curated. I mean, honestly, the feeds are stunning. Everything's filtered. There's AI writing the emails, generating the images, scripting the videos. And here's what happens when everything gets that perfect. We go numb to it. We don't even see it anymore. People are tired of the gloss. They're reaching for anything that feels real. So when someone gets on camera, not perfectly lit, not reading a script, and just saying the true thing, the response is immediate. People throw their credit cards at it. But you don't need a TikTok account to feel this. You feel it in your own kitchen. You're the woman who's a doctor, a director, an attorney, a business owner, a mother, a wife, a significant other. You built the life you were supposed to want. And behind closed doors, you tell me the same 3 things, almost word for word. I feel invisible. I feel like I'm playing a role. I have all these thoughts I don't know how to say without sounding ungrateful. You're craving the exact same thing the internet is craving: permission to be real, to show up without editing yourself first. And this is the permission trap. The permission trap is the quiet belief that before you can speak up, before you can change something, before you can want things, somebody else has to sign off on it. You need the perfect words. You need to be the certified expert. You need to be sure it won't make anyone around you uncomfortable. And I speak from experience because I've done the same thing. The women who paid for that challenge weren't buying a camera skill. They were paying a stranger to say, your voice, exactly as it is enough. In fact, it's the thing most people want most. And underneath all of it sits the worth wound, the belief that your value comes from how perfectly you play the part. The perfect mother, the perfect professional, the perfect wife. So you decide somewhere along the way that if you let people see the messy middle, you'll lose your standing. You'll be too much. You'll be unprofessional. And here's the part that's actually costing you. The perfection isn't protecting you. It's the wall. It's the exact thing keeping you disconnected from your own life. You can be in a room full of people who love you and still feel like none of them have met you. That guilt that tells you to stay quiet and be grateful, that isn't truth. It's the trap. I'm not telling you this from a stage. I'm telling you from experience. When I started writing fiction, I wrote in secret, late evenings, early mornings, the 5 a.m.s and the 9 p.m.s, before anyone in my house was awake or when they'd just gone to sleep. A private Google Doc that I had password protected, which looking back is almost funny. But that's how scared I was, and scared that if anyone knew I was doing something just for me, they'd see me differently, judge me, or worst of all, talk me out of it before I even knew what it was. I waited a long time for permission that was never going to arrive in the mail and that nobody else was going to give to me. So when I tell you that you already have the thing you're waiting for, I'm not guessing. I built a whole second life on the other side of that fear. I know what it costs to wait, and I know what it gives back when you stop. So here's how you actually do this. And no, it doesn't mean blowing up your life, because that's the both/and I continuously talk about through all my podcasts. You don't have to choose between the life you built and the life you want. You don't have to quit the job and move to a cabin in the woods to find your own voice. You get to expand right where you're standing. The way through is the permission stack. And there are 4 steps: desire, permission, action, and identity. First, the desire. What do you actually want to say? What's the thing you've been suppressing? Maybe it's a creative project, like my novels were for me. Maybe it's speaking up in the meeting instead of swallowing it. Maybe it's finally telling your partner what you need without softening it into nothing, the unblemished truth. Second, the permission. Stop waiting for the green light. Nobody handed those women on the internet a permission slip. They gave it to themselves and hit record. You give yourself permission to say the true thing, even when your voice shakes. Third, the action. This is the yap, the famous yap that everyone's now talking about. The messy, unscripted move, the conversation you have without rehearsing it 3 times in your head. The first draft you write badly on purpose, the moment you show up without the armor. And fourth, final, is the identity. And this is the part most people miss. When you take the action, you become someone new. You stop being the woman who waits for approval and you start being the woman who leads her own life. You don't have to be polished to be powerful, and you don't have to do all 4 at once. You do the 5% version, one small move. That's it. The 5% rule is how this works. Small shifts compound. You don't have to burn anything down. And here's what I want you to take with you. The world is starved for the real thing, and that includes the people in your own home, your office, your own group text. Your perfection feels like a shield. It's actually a barrier. So I have one challenge for you this week. Find one place where you've been over-curating yourself. One place where you've been holding back the true thought because you wanted to give the perfect response. And just say it. That's it. Just say it. Have the conversation with your partner without rehearsing it. Send the email without running it through AI to make it sound more professional. Tell a friend the real thing, not the polished version. Notice how terrifying it feels in the half second before you do it. Then notice what happens right after. The connection shows up on the other side of the thing you were scared to say. Knowing changes nothing, but choosing changes everything every time. So you're allowed to take up space, and you're allowed to be a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. You don't have to start over. You just have to expand. And that's actually my word for 2026. If this episode names something you've been feeling but couldn't say out loud, if you recognize the woman who edited herself for so long, she can't quite hear her own voice anymore, that's exactly who I built this for. I'm extending an invitation. I opened 3 private next chapter sessions this month. This is for the woman who looks successful on paper and knows something deeper is asking for change. We'll get clear on what chapter you're actually in, what's keeping you stuck, and whether private coaching actually makes sense for you. You'll find the link in the show notes. And if you know a woman who needs to hear this, the one who's brilliant and hiding behind her own perfection, send it to her. Until next time, keep expanding.